Good morning again. Welcome to the channel. You know, if you stop and think for just one moment, most of you have come from some form of broken relationship over the years. Back in the West, we call it. How many of you can honestly say that you didn't walk away a little bit bruised, a little bit poorer, a little bit angry and pissed off? I'm sure the answer, as many of you would give, is yeah, sure, mate. Well, we all have a life with somebody who we believe is going to be the one. And we give it their all. You give it your all. You know, you go through the process, mortgage application, sweating for approval, finally getting approval, and then organising your monthly budget to cover the mortgage payment. As time goes by, relationships create children, cars, successful businesses, sometimes not. But in the end, you're on a pedestal. Oh, not a pedestal, a merry-go-round. Because we live in an age where the idea of loyalty and reliability doesn't always match between husband and wife, partner and girlfriend. And therefore, while we accumulate our assets together in the West, they grow in value. With the knowledge, of course, most of you would say, oh, well, we're not going to sell the house unless we decide to trade up or trade down. So it's a commodity that we think, oh, well, we'll sell this car or we'll buy a new house, whatever it is. And the net result is that somewhere along the line, somebody, somewhere in this world, is experiencing a loss, not only of their relationship, possibly many of their friends, maybe moving away from where they used to live, feeling bitter, feeling that wasn't fair. The lawyers got all the money, and your wife walked away with the house and the kids. Now, I've heard so many times people say, well, John, well, mate, if you're not prepared to lose that amount of money or you're not going to be prepared to walk away from something, then don't spend the money in the first place. Great idea, I agree. If you're going to give money away to a poor person, the reason that you did it is because you felt the wish, the desire to be able to help them. Once you've given it to them, what they do with that money, you can't be the one that determines it. Some women are morally fair. They will instruct their lawyer to be fair. The lawyer, of course, working for the wife or the female partner, will be pushing for the biggest share. That's just the nature of an attorney. And the wife will be either encouraged or persuaded to do that. She may have originally thought, well, 50-50, he was a good man, but it just hasn't worked out. The same applies here. Some women have got a moral fibre running right through them, and they'll do the right thing. Even though they love the home and it's a wonderful place to live in and it had promise and offered a future, they can step back and see what they're doing to the other person. Is it fair, they'll say. And they'll say, yes, let's put the place on the market. We'll split the money. Okay, They're not necessarily entitled to it, but let's be fair. We'll split the money. And then comes along the idea, well, hang on a minute. You only bought the land, but you can't own the land, so it's my land. Okay, agree. We're in the Philippines after all. Hang on a minute, you only paid $6 million for the house and we get 10. That means you get 3 and I get 7. What's the point of arguing? She wants her money for the land. Of course she doesn't want the money she paid for it. She wants the increased value perceived in her mind. So she either says, well, hang on a minute, you paid 6 for it, we got 6 for it, because the land has gone up in value. You'll get 2, I'll have 4. Do you see what I mean? Greed, it's called. It's called greed. And when greed comes into the argument, into the discussion, there is no time where reality meets common sense. You can sit around and wait to sell a house for years here in the Philippines. Because who? You have to be a cash buyer. Who's going to buy it? Maybe a foreigner? Does a foreigner want to buy a house that's not quite complete? Does he want to buy a house that's not his liking? But he wants to get it for the best price. So he wants to screw you down anyway. So even if it cost you 6 to do it 5 years ago, he'll see it's only worth 4. Why? Because he's looking for a bargain. He's doing reverse white tax. And when you start to squabble over it, that's when you start to lose your mind. Because the reality is, when you split from your Filipina, she has no morals anymore. She doesn't care that she committed herself to looking after you. After all, you're an older man when she took you on. And she knew that you're not getting any younger. So, who's let you down? Have you made a big mistake? Sure, you made a miscalculation. But did you make a mistake? Not necessarily. We knew the score. Women do these things in this world. It's called getting ahead, using somebody. Now, you don't have to call it a scam, because it's not necessarily a scam, but it turns into looking like one in the end, because you walk away and they don't care. They're quite happy to take all the chips off the table and stuff them in their pocket. They don't care what other people think. Nobody was game enough to actually tell them that maybe they weren't a very nice person doing that to your foreigner boyfriend. Do they care? Of course not. Ones with moral fibre, ones with a bit of decency, would sell the property, would divide it equally. But they're hard to find. So when you do pick your woman, think ahead. Are you prepared to walk away from it all and let her laugh all the way to the bank? Some of you might say, yeah, okay. I was going to do it anyway. If I died, she would have got it anyway. So there's my thought for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a lovely evening or a lovely day. Bye now.